Just checking in on the live streams, making sure we're good. Getting started in a couple minutes here. All right, everybody, welcome to the live stream. 5:46. We get started in a couple minutes here. But in the meantime, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Give us some reactions. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to be live streaming for about 3 hours tonight. Maybe even a little bit longer. We'll see how it goes. And we have lots of good scam awareness information for you. And it's critical to know what we're going to go over, to learn about these scams and be aware of what these scammers are doing and how they're targeting you. All the scams we're going to discuss this evening are actually scams that target individuals, just like you, your loved ones. And we're being targeted all day long. So it's more important now than ever to be aware of these scams. Because these scammers want to clear you out. They want to take everything in your bank account. They want to take your retirement fund, your checking account, retirement, savings, everything. So we're going to start in about 3 minutes here. Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Hit the react button. If it's your first time joining our live stream, welcome. We do this every week to help raise awareness about scams. Because these scammers, they're ruthless. They want to take everything you have. We're not talking about scams where they take $100 from you or even $1,000. They want to clear out your bank accounts. They want to clear out your retirement funds. They want to take everything from you. They don't care if you're a senior that's retired. They don't care if you're a veteran. They don't care if it's your life savings. They'll take everything. So it's important to be aware of these scams so you can identify them and prevent the scammer from getting money from you. Because sadly, once your funds are taken by these scammers, rarely are they recovered. Very rarely. Sometimes people get lucky and they recover partial funds, but it's rare. That's why awareness is key. We get started about 2 more minutes here. 2 minutes. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I am monitoring the chats and the comments section, so let me know you're watching. We want to hear from you. We get started about 2 minutes. We're going to discuss a lot of common scams. We're going to show you real examples too. So make sure to hit that like button. Share the live stream. Let's get some more people in here. Everybody could benefit from watching this live stream. Especially if you know someone that keeps on falling for scams or getting targeted with scams. Invite them. Get them in here. Let's get them watching. You see we have the agenda up over here. We're going to kick off the live stream with going over some common scams. And we're going to talk some red flags to help you identify scammers. All good stuff. We'll get started about 1 more minute. Say hi. Let me know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Give me a like. Give me a reaction. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Get started in about 1 minute here. Everybody else, let me know you're watching. Say hi, hit that like button, and now's the time to invite some friends and family, and we're going to be streaming for about 3 hours this evening. So let's get those friends and family invited in. Share this on your timelines. All right, 5:50. Let's get this started. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with ScamAware 101. We do this live stream every week to help spread awareness about common scams that target individuals just like you. We also release videos on YouTube about scams to help spread awareness, and we also have campaigns going on social media to also help spread awareness. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all your favorite social media platforms. But the big thing we do to spread awareness is every week we do this live stream, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And we'll be going for about 3 hours this evening. And what we're going to cover over 20 different types of scams that are currently circulating and targeting individuals just like you. We're going to go over red flags to help you identify and prevent scams. And we're going to share real examples of these scams, including email scams, phone call scams, text message scams. We're even going to show you some snail mail scams. That's traditional mail through the postal service, right? Because scammers still use that too. They'll target you in any way they can. So lots of good information coming up on this live stream for you. We're going to kick it off with a few examples of some common scams. But before we get started, you can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. It's the best way to keep up to date with any new content we release. And we'll send you some scam awareness tips and some alerts to be aware of as they occur. So join the mailing list. It's free, scamaware101.com. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We have links to each page on our website. Right here, YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. So follow us on your favorite social media platforms and help us spread awareness about these scams. You can also help out financially if you want to throw a couple bucks and help support our mission here. We have memberships enabled over on YouTube. We have super thanks and super chats enabled on YouTube if you want to send a couple bucks that way, or you can donate directly at scamaware101.com/donate. We have a link over here at the bottom of our site as well where it says donate or support. And finally, we have a gift shop here. You got the link on our website, and also it's on our YouTube channel, the YouTube store. But we have a gift shop here where we sell a few merch items to help spread awareness about scams, right? And they're all useful items. We have some coffee mugs available, water bottles, mouse pads. They're all things you would keep in front of you on your desk, kind of as a reminder not to fall for these scams, right? And by the way, they make great stocking stuffers and gifts as the holidays approach. So check out our YouTube store or the gift shop link on our website and get some merch. Help support a good cause over here. And it makes a great stocking stuffer for that loved one that keeps on falling for the scams. Give them a coffee mug. It says Scamaware 101. All right. And finally, participate in this live stream. We want to hear from you. Say hi in the chat. Leave a comment. Let us know what scams you're being targeted with, what scams you're encountering. We want to hear your stories. Have you fallen for a scam? What did they get you with? How'd they fool you? We want to hear from you. And the agenda, we'll switch it around. We got an agenda that we're going through here, but we're glad to switch it around if you want to hear about a different scam or we get the conversation going. And nothing's in stone here. It's flexible. It's a live stream and anything goes. All right, so hit that like button. Say hello in the chat. Get some friends in here. And let's talk about some common scams that are currently circulating to look out for. And the scam we're going to start with on today's live stream is Social Security impersonation scams. This is when scammers impersonate Social Security officials and claim there are problems with the victim's number or benefits. They threaten action unless immediate payment or information is provided. Scammers also send fake emails that appear to be from Social Security but link to dangerous websites. And we're seeing a lot more of this type of scam where the scammers impersonate Social Security, whether it's a phone call or an email or even a text message. We're getting an increase in reports. And that's because Social Security is a hot topic right now, right? People are wondering if there's changes. I think something's coming up with the new year, and people never know what's going on, right? So scammers take advantage of this, and they send out emails or they call up people and they impersonate Social Security. And they use it to their advantage. They use the confusion to their advantage. So it's important to be aware that scammers are impersonating government agencies like Social Security. They are trying to reach you over the phone. They're trying to reach you through email. So you have to have your guard up all around when these Social Security impersonation scammers are trying to contact you. And we're going to share an example of an email that impersonates Social Security that's actively circulating that you should be aware of. And in this first example of the email, this is how it looks if you receive it on your mobile device. And sadly, when you look at these emails on your mobile device, it's not as obvious that they're a scam. You have to look into it a little more, so it's a little harder to tell. Like, you can't see the email address unless you click into it, right? So as far as this email looks like it's from the Department of, right? And then it looks like it links to ssa.gov. And basically the email says, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. There's a link, looks like it points at ssa.gov. We hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration's services. All right, so this is the email you get that's impersonating Social Security. It looks like you have some kind of statement, and they're trying to get you to click on this link, right? And looking at it on the mobile device, it looks like it could be real, right? But it's not. It's a scam. And if you look into it a little bit more on a computer, and you can see a little more details about this email. All right, here's how it looks on a computer. And right away you realize, wait a minute, this isn't from ssa.gov. This is from some other email address. This is safaricom.co.ke. Right, so it's from some foreign email address. I think that's a Kenya email domain. Right, and then when you move the mouse over the link that looks like it says ssa.gov, Social Security's website, it actually shows a completely different website. So just because the text of that link says ssa.gov, it actually points to a completely different website. That's a common trick that scammers will use to direct you to a fake website. You'll think you're clicking on a link to ssa.gov or whatever other provider, and they trick you into clicking it and being taken to a completely different fake website. All right, so be aware of this scam. Again, we see reports of this one coming in. It's been circulating for a few months now. This one, our original example here is actually from February 6th, 2025, right, which is earlier in the year. But we're still seeing reports of this same email circulating since last week, right, on the AARP scam tracker map. So people are still reporting this and still receiving this email, this Social Security impersonation scam email. All right, so watch out for any unsolicited communication claiming to be from Social Security. Again, whether it's a phone call, they might call you up and say there's an issue with your account or that they need to update your information, right? At the very least, they're trying to just gather information about you and learn information about you, but at the very worst, they're going to try to clear out your bank accounts. They're going to try to get your bank details. They'll tell you it's for a payment or even for a deposit. They might say, hey, there's a Social Security payment, but it's failing. Please confirm your banking details. But that's a scam. So watch out for these government impersonation scams, especially the Social Security ones that are circulating right now. And let me know in the chat if you've received those emails or any examples of those government impersonation scams like Social Security. We want to hear from you. Just let me know if you're getting those emails too. How are y'all doing out there? Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Let us know in the chat. I want to hear from you. See, Dave's driving for next 3 hours, but he's going to be listening the whole way. You the man, Dave. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it. 3 hours is a long drive. Hopefully you're going somewhere good. All right, the next scam we're going to go over here. And sticking with that theme of government impersonation scams, we're going to talk about IRS impersonation scams. All right, because just like Social Security, scammers also impersonate the IRS. Now, they impersonate a lot of government agencies, especially when there's things going on. And it's not just tax season that you have to watch out for these impersonation scams. They do it all year long. It picks up during tax season, but you still have to be aware of them all year long. And basically, it's when fraudsters impersonate tax authorities, claiming the victim owes taxes and must pay immediately to avoid penalties or arrest. Other times, they'll reach out to the victim, claiming to be the IRS, and they'll say you need to update your information, your banking account details. Very similar to Social Security impersonation scam that we just talked about. All right, so it's just another example about how any unsolicited communication that claims to be from the IRS or a government agency, you have to confirm. Right, and what I mean by confirm is you have to hang up, and you have to reach out through official sources. If you're concerned that it's real, you want to reach out through official sources. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about these IRS impersonation scams. We have an example of one of those, or actually two examples, to share with you for that type of scam, and they're both text message versions of this scam. All right. So here's the first example. It's a text message. It says, Internal Revenue Service. You are eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And then it has a link to a website that's designed to look like the IRS website, but it's a fake website. Also, notice in this example, it says, please reply with yes, then exit the text message and reopen. There's this instruction at the end of the text message. It says, please reply yes, then reopen. That's a big red flag. A lot of scammers, they put that in their text messages. So if you see that little instruction at the bottom, it says, please reply yes and reopen. It's a red flag. So yeah, this text message example, in this example, what's happening is a scammer, They're trying to get you to click this link. You go to a fake website, and then they're going to steal whatever payment and banking details you enter. And they're pretending that you have an economic impact payment that you're going to receive. So they're asking you to update your bank account details. But that's a scam. That's how they trick you into getting your bank account details. So don't fall for it. This example on the screen was actually given to us from the IRS this year. This year they provided this example and warned us about it. So don't trust it. Any unsolicited communication claiming to be from the IRS, government agency. And we have one more example of a similar text message. This warning came out about a week or two ago. And this one was from the Colorado Department of Revenue. And they provided this example of a text message scam that was circulating. And similar to the scammer impersonating the IRS, in this case, they're impersonating the Colorado Department of Revenue. And it says, your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate payment information by October 22nd. We will deposit the funds in your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. So they're using the same type of scam where they're saying, hey, you're entitled to a refund, but you got to confirm your banking account details. But just like the other example, it links to a fake website that steals any details you enter. And this is a fairly recent example. Right? This was posted by the governor of Colorado, I believe, shared this example a couple weeks ago, warning about this one circulating. So got to watch out for any of these scammers impersonating the IRS, Department of Revenue. Also, you notice that this example came from a +63 country code. Right, so I think that's the Philippines. And a lot of scam text messages, they come from those country codes that are outside of the U.S. There's also a red flag. So yeah, watch out for these IRS impersonation scams, Department of Revenue impersonation scams. They're actively circulating. They always pick up during tax season too, so a few more months. Let me know in the comments, in the chats, if you've received any of those text message scams that we're being warned about, impersonating the IRS or the Department of Revenue. I want to hear from you. And let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat, leave a comment, hit that thumbs up. We're going to be streaming for a few hours this evening, so it's a great time to share this live stream, get some more friends and family in here. Going over lots of useful, important information to help you avoid becoming a victim here of scammers. So this next scam we're going to talk about, staying on the tax impersonation, IRS impersonation theme here. These are actually tax forgiveness scams. And we're going to play a few phone call examples. But these always pick up during tax season as well. But basically, these fraudsters impersonate accountants offering tax forgiveness services. But they either fail to provide the service or they steal your personal information. All right. And these calls are still circulating now. We're still seeing lots of reports about them. And I have 2 examples of these phone calls I'm going to play for you. All right. And they're both robocalls. They're both recordings, but they're done to sound like they're a real person. Right? They talk like they're a real person. They act like I have your file on my desk. Call me back. Right? But it's just a robocall. It's playing the same stuff to everybody. Right? It's not really a person on the other end. It's a scammer. Right? So let me play an example of one of these phone calls, these tax forgiveness scam phone calls for you.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick. And I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you. 2.
Right. So that's an example of a tax forgiveness scam. And it's a misleading phone call. It's designed to make you think that, oh, somebody's actually leaving me a message. Right? They're saying, the person says, oh, I have your file on my desk. There's no file on any desk. This is just a robocall that's calling everybody. Also, the call opened by saying, you owe back taxes. right? So right off the bat, it's trying to scare you by saying you owe back taxes, which is a shady tactic that, why do you want to deal with these people anyway? They don't know if you owe back taxes or not. They're just playing this robocall for everybody that it calls. All right. So anyway, that's one example of tax forgiveness scam that you should be aware of. Phone call, right? But I have one more version. And this next one, this one's funny because it pauses. It tries to impersonate somebody asking questions, and then it pauses and waits for you to answer. Right? And then it talks back like it's a person. So it even tries to trick the caller into thinking they're having a conversation with somebody when they're not. So I'm going to play another recording for you. You guys can check this one out. And again, when the caller asks a question, you don't hear any answer. That's real. I didn't answer. Like it's silence. And then you see how the recording continues. And thanks. Okay. And now, so let's take a listen to that one. There's a tax forgiveness scam. Another phone call example for you.
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you now. My name is Anthony. I'm actually one of the assistants to the director for the National Tax Relief Program. How you doing? Great. So listen, I've personally been tasked with reaching out to make sure you received information about a brand new federally approved program designed to help people who may be dealing with tax debt. It's called the Tax Dismissal Program. It's something that's helped thousands of people reduce or sometimes even completely eliminate what they owe to the IRS. Can I ask you, do you currently owe any back taxes at the moment? Okay. Do you have any unfiled tax years or any unpaid back balances? Okay, great. Let me get you this updated information. You're just going to hear a brief recording.
Okay, so this special program has been recently approved as of June 2025.
All right, so see what that was? That was actually a fake recording of a caller, but it's done in a way to make you think you're actually having a conversation with somebody. He asks questions, there's a pause for you to answer, and then he continue to ask more questions. But there's not really somebody on the other end. It's just a trick to get you to stay on the phone, and then about 40 seconds in, it says, okay, listen to the short recording. But it's all a scam. It's all a fake tax forgiveness scam where they're eventually going to try to steal your information or sell you a service that they never provide. So don't fall for these types of scams. They always pick up more during tax season, but they are currently circulating now. Let me know in the chat in the comments if you've received any of those types of phone calls and scams. Any government impersonation scams. So next scam we're going to talk about is a fake promotion scam. And it's a fake promotion gift card scam. It's basically when fraudsters impersonate a service provider and offer the victim a discount for paying with a retail gift card. Victims are tricked into purchasing gift cards and sending them to the scammer. Right? And the way this scam works, and the example I'm going to share with you, is a phone call, and it impersonates Comcast. Right? And the phone call, it basically says that your 50% promotional discount is going to expire today, meaning your bill is going to double. And it says call back the number. Well, when the victim calls back the number, they think they're calling back Comcast. They think they're calling back their internet provider, but they're actually calling a scammer. Right? And that's when the scammer tells them, he'll say, well, your promotion is going to expire, but we're running a new promotion with Target. So if you pay with a Target gift card or an Apple gift card or whoever they're doing the fake promotion with, right, they'll say you could still get the same rate. And then they trick the victim into purchasing a $500 gift card and providing it to them, making them think they're paying their cable with it or their service with it. Right? So it's a gift card scam. They trick the victim into purchasing a gift card and sending it to them. And I'm going to play you a recording of this phone call. And this scam is becoming more and more common. So take a listen to this recording of this fake promotion scam that impersonates Comcast.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
So that's a fake Comcast promotion, right? It calls the victim up. It impersonates Comcast. It says that your discount's going to expire, and it says callback number, which, by the way, that's a red flag. They didn't leave a real phone number to call. They just said callback number. And that's always a red flag when they expect you to call back the number on your caller ID. All right. But anyway, it's a pretty clever way to trick victims into purchasing a $500 gift card. And in the example, again, they impersonated Comcast, but whenever they impersonate one company, they're out there impersonating others too. There's probably a version of this that impersonates Verizon, right? A version of it that impersonates any other provider that's out there. T-Mobile, AT&T, whatever. When there's smoke, there's fire, right? So watch out for these fake promotional scams. We see reports of these coming in all the time on the AARP scam tracker map. And look, if you get a phone call of somebody claiming to be with your internet provider or cable provider, instead of calling back the number that the message says or as instructed, call back the official phone number, right? Go look on your bill and call the official phone number up on their website if you're concerned the message is even real. So watch out for these fake promotion scams, gift card scams, and really any mention of a gift card, it needs to be a red flag in your mind. And we're going to talk about that in a moment as we get into common red flags to be aware of. So if you're watching, say in the chat, let me know you're with us. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Funny story about Facebook. Usually you do a Facebook ad to try and get some more people onto this live stream. And last week they blocked the Scamaware 101 account from doing Facebook ads because it detected our content as suspicious. So unfortunately, I can't do an ad on Facebook anymore, which is hilarious because one of the things we talk about on this live stream is how there's so many scam ads on Facebook and they don't do anything about it, right? It's a big problem, all the scam ads that are on Facebook. And it's ironic because they actually blocked the Scamaware 101 account from placing ads while all these scammers out there seem to be able to place these ads, no matter how many times you report them. So fun little story there. Hopefully Facebook will change their ways. I try to do a review process, but they use AI, right? So their AI detects it. You click review. 2 seconds later, the AI does a review. And each time it's like, it detects it as harmful content or goes against their rules, right? But you can't get a review from a real person. So Facebook, if you're out there, I want a review from a real person. It's ridiculous. So you're lucky I don't got a big enough following to create a ruckus over this. But I'm putting it out there. If everybody wants to go nag Facebook and tell them to re-enable my ad account, I appreciate it. It's wild. It's wild. So many scam ads on Facebook, and they block, my account. Unbelievable. But anyway, I'm not going to cry about it. Life goes on. I'll always remember. I'll remember what you did, Facebook. One day you'll be begging me to buy ads from you, but I'll remember. You don't want my money now, but when you do, I'm gonna remember what you did, Facebook. How you tried to throw this hurdle and slow down my the growth of Scammer 101 over here. Anyway, let's get back to scam awareness. And you know what? That's all related to scam awareness because it shows that Facebook's letting all these other scam accounts go, and their filtering is not reliable. It's sitting here blocking legit accounts like mine, while scammers are still getting away with it. So, very important to be aware of the scams that are on Facebook and the Facebook ads, search engines, because they're not doing a great job over there detecting what's actually harmful and what's not. Do better, Zuckerberg. Anyway, let's talk about common red flags that help you identify a scammer. We have a video about this on our YouTube channel, too. So as we go through these slides, we're going to go over 5 red flags. And the video that we have on our YouTube channel also has those 5 red flags. So if you know someone that would benefit from being aware of these 5 red flags, which really is everybody. Everybody should take a minute and kind of learn what these red flags, this way when they're being targeted by a scam, they can identify it. Right? Because we get these red flags from victims. Victims share their stories. And we notice common threads. We notice these common red flags that popped up in their stories where if they were aware of it, it might have been enough to stop the scam from happening, right? So let's talk about these 5 red flags, and let me know in the chats and in the comments if you've encountered these red flags and your experience with these, right? So red flag number 1, you're dealing with a scammer. They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation, right? We see this a lot. Scammers love to communicate with their victims using third-party apps because it's easier for them to communicate with victims all over the world, right? And it also offers them more anonymity for a scammer to hide behind. So scammers will they'll start their scams using a more traditional contact method, whether it's a text message or an email or a phone call, right? But as they engage with the victim, often they'll say, let's continue this conversation on Telegram or WhatsApp. Or Chime, I think, is another one, maybe. Is Chime a chat app or a payment app? But anyway, red flags when these scammers tell you to download these third-party apps. You know, even if it's not a chat app, just any third-party app. When somebody's telling you to download a third-party app, it's a red flag in general, especially if it's like Telegram or WhatsApp. So that's red flag number 1. And some scams where that's part of the playbook, where it's part of the steps for them to direct you to these third-party chat apps. You get romance scams, those fake dating profiles that lure in new victims. And then once they start the conversations with their matches on these dating websites, they'll direct them to keep talking on WhatsApp. All right, that's the red flag. They're asking you to talk on WhatsApp. Wrong number scams. All right, it starts with a text message probing for new victims, and when somebody replies, they try to continue the conversation, and eventually the scammer asks the victim to continue talking on WhatsApp. Right, there's investment scams. They'll direct the victim to a Telegram or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment, make it appear more legit. All right, so the red flag is when they tell you to download these third-party chat apps. You know, scammers not going to want to keep on text messaging back and forth. Eventually, they're going to want to get you on a third-party chat app. It's much easier for them to scam you that way. So that's red flag number 1. They're dealing with a scammer. You know, if you run into any of these red flags, it's reason to pause and reanalyze what's going on. Maybe talk to someone else, get some advice. Red flag number 2 is a big one. Hey, Kreez Whatcha. Welcome to the Instagram live stream. Good to see you. Hope you're still here. Welcome. Say hi in the chat. Let me know if you encounter these red flags we're talking about here. So, red flag number 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. This is a very big red flag. These unusual forms of payment, scammers love them because it's easier for them to move and transfer the funds, and it's also harder for victims to recover the money after it's sent. And this is why I mentioned earlier, sadly, most victims don't recover their funds because the payment methods and the ways that they send these funds, they can't be recovered. That's why scammers, they love being paid in gift cards. They love being paid in prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. They're all red flags. And now, as an extension of this red flag, they're asking for gold now. They're instructing people to purchase gold. And they're even having couriers and Uber drivers pick up cash from victims, right? But I don't want to get too far off of this red flag number 2 here. Any mention of gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin ATM is a big red flag that you're dealing with a scammer. And some scams, that's part of the playbook, IRS and Social Security scams. All right, so the scammers impersonate government agencies and they ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. And look, if anybody's claiming to be with a government agency, they're trying to get you to make a payment with gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's 100% a scam. Because as of right now, government agencies don't accept those forms of payment. They don't accept cryptocurrency or gift cards. Right? Maybe one day they'll accept cryptocurrency. It could be heading that way, but right now they don't. So if somebody calls you up, claiming they're with a government agency, asking you to pay with cryptocurrency, it's a scam. Don't trust it. And we're going to be seeing more and more of those scams, right? Because, this administration here, right, they embrace cryptocurrency, right? And I'm sure there's going to be all this confusion over, there's always confusion over which tokens and cryptocurrency is legit and isn't legit, right? So these scammers, they'll call you up and they'll say, we're introducing this new form of payment. You can now pay with cryptocurrency, but don't trust it. It's a scam, right? Romance scams. Right, these romance scammers, they request gift cards and cryptocurrency from their emotionally attached victim, right? And, the fact that it's called a gift card works in the favor, right? The victim thinks, I'm just giving somebody I'm in a relationship with, a gift card. And a lot of times they'll tell their victims, I set up this crypto account for us, so deposit cryptocurrency in there, and it'll be our we'll use it for our life together in the future, right? But it's all part of the scam. The reason the scammer is telling them to send gift cards and cryptocurrency is because they know it won't be recovered once they realize that they're being scammed, right? So always red flag: gift cards, cryptocurrency, right? And then there's the bank impersonation scams. These scammers, they call you up over the phone and they claim that they're from the bank or they're from an agency and they're investigating fraud, right? And a lot of times they'll tell you that your money's not safe and you need to withdraw it and purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency, right? So that's the red flag: gift cards, cryptocurrency. They tell you to go to Bitcoin ATM machine. Don't trust it. It's a scam. Don't fall for it. So that's red flag number 2. Those unusual forms of payment. How are we doing out there? Let me know any other red flags as you think about them or if you've encountered them. Red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Right. So this is a common scam. It's common on merchant style websites like eBay, not eBay, I'm sorry, like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. There's a whole bunch of other sites now, right, that are starting to become more popular too, that people buy and sell on. And we're going to be seeing more and more of those types of sites too. So this scam you need to watch out for, because how it works is somebody impersonates a buyer or a seller, usually, and they'll say they want to confirm your phone number. Usually that's the narrative. They'll say, I'm going to send you a code to your phone just to confirm it's legit, right? But what they're actually trying to do is they're actually trying to do something malicious with your phone number. They might be trying to log into one of your accounts. They might be trying to reset your passwords. They might be trying to create an account linked to your phone number, right? There's no reason an individual should be sending a code to your phone. That usually means that they're trying to do something suspicious, right? So let's talk a little bit more about what they might be trying to do. Okay, so they might be trying to log into one of your accounts, and you're getting that code to your phone as a security measure. If you give it back to the scammer, you're letting them access your account. All right, they might be trying to reset a password to access an account. All right, you receive that code as a security measure. If you give it to the scammer, you're allowing them to reset the password and get into your account. All right, the other thing they might be trying to do, and this one's a common scam, is a Google Voice scam. What they do is they create these Google Voice accounts linked to your phone number. And to link it to a phone number, you need to provide the code, right? So you give the code back to the scammer, you're allowing them to link your phone number to a Google Voice account. And then they use that Google Voice account for malicious activity. They use that Google Voice account to perform more scams, and it's linked to your phone number. All right, so there's really no reason that an individual should be telling you that they're going to send a code to your phone and ask you to send it back. There's something suspicious about that. It's a big red flag. All right, so don't fall for that. And that's red flag number. That's red flag number 3. Let me update the agenda here. Anybody ever been targeted with that type of scam before? The one where they're asking you to give them a code that was sent to your phone? It's becoming more and more common. It happens a lot. So be aware of that one, and don't fall for that. If somebody's telling you they're going to send a code to your phone. It's suspicious. Let's talk about red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. All right, so scammers love to get on your devices now, and it's becoming more common for them to ask for access to your device. They could steal victims' logins and passwords once they're on the PC. Right, if you have your logins saved in your browser, a lot of times they could extract those logins and get your account details. Stealing or encrypting your personal files. They could encrypt your documents and your pictures, hold them for ransom, blackmail you. Right? They could attempt to access your online banking websites and other financial information on your PC or device. Right, so it's a goldmine for these scammers. They love accessing victims' devices. And we're starting to see that as part of the playbook more often with these scams. We see that with tech support scams and fake virus alerts. Right? They trick victims into calling a fake tech support number, and they say, hey, let me help you with that virus. I'm going to connect to your PC. It's all scams. It's just a scam to get onto your device. Fake order scams, we're going to be talking about that one too. They impersonate customer support to assist with a account issue or order. Right? And then they ask to connect your device. there's a fake fraudulent activity, right? When they impersonate the bank or an agency investigating fraud, and they'll ask to connect your device. And sometimes they'll say, I'll connect your device. We'll check for suspicious activity under your bank accounts, right? But it's actually a scammer, and you're giving them all these details. They're logging into your bank accounts for them. They're seeing your balances, right? And you don't realize you're dealing with a scammer. So you never want to let these malicious folks onto your device, right? And when it comes to that, you should only let trusted people. You should already have in your mind, if you need tech support or there's something going on with your computer or you get a virus alert, who are you going to call? All right. Maybe it's that family member that's go computers. Maybe it's the local computer shop. But you should already have in mind who you're going to call. Right? You shouldn't trust these phone numbers, for tech support that pop up. And definitely if somebody you've never used before or you're not sure it's legit, they ask for access to your device, don't trust it. It's a scam. Moving along here. How we doing? Make good time tonight. Sit down and chat. Let me know you're watching. Want to hear from you. Hit that thumbs up. Get some more people in here. Lots of good stuff still coming up this evening. All right. Red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. So it's common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people because the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. All right. So scammers want to keep you quiet, and they'll think of clever excuses and stories to get you to stay quiet. For example, in a grandparent scam, where they claim that one of your relatives has been locked up in jail, and they're embarrassed. They say they're embarrassed about it, so not to tell anybody. Right? But that's actually a trick. They're just trying to get you to keep quiet and not tell anybody, so you don't get recognized as a scam. Right? There's investment scams. They'll tell you it's an inside tip and don't tell anyone, or a price is just for you, and not to share it. But it's a scam. They just want you to keep quiet because you start telling people, they'll be like, hey, that's a scam. Inheritance scams. They mail letters impersonating law offices regarding an inheritance. The letter requests confidentiality. And we have an example of one of those we're going to be sharing later on in a live stream here. And of course, there's a fake fraudulent activity, right, where they impersonate the bank or an agency investigating fraud. And what they'll do is they'll say, since this is an active investigation, you can't tell anybody. You have to stay quiet. Because if you tell anybody, you could put the investigation at risk, right? But that's all part of scam. They just want to keep you quiet so you don't talk to anybody. So you're less likely to find out it's a scam. All right, so that's red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Makes sense? Let me know you're watching. All right, so just to summarize those 5 red flags. And again, we have a video about these 5 red flags too. Share it with a loved one. Important to spread awareness of these. But here's a quick summary of those 5 red flags. Red flag number 1, they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Red flag number 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, or cryptocurrency. Depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. All those unusual forms of payment are red flags. Red flag number 3, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. It's a common scam. Important to be aware of that one. And red flag number 4, they ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. It's become more common. You never want to let scammer onto your device. And red flag number 5, they request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Always a red flag when someone's telling you to keep it quiet. Most times they just don't want you to talk to people and be told it's a scam. So watch out for those 5 red flags. I know there's plenty more, but those are 5 big ones to be aware of. And they might be your last chance to stop a scam that's in progress too, especially the payment red flag, right? They're telling you to deposit at a Bitcoin ATM. Might be your last chance to spot that scam before losing that money. So don't fall for it. Common red flags. Cool. How we all doing, everybody? If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. Join our free mailing list at scamaware101.com. It's free to join. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live. All good stuff. Nothing excessive. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I don't think you will because there's no reason to. So check out our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. They're just trying to put something good out there. Trying to get the word out there about these scams, how people can protect themselves. Because you can't rely. You can't rely on anybody else. You really can't. The bank's not going to give you that money back. They're not. If you withdraw it, you're tricked into saying it to a scammer. That's it. You're not going to get that money back, at least from the bank. All right? The scammers could be located international. The cops, in most cases, are not going to be able to help once the money's gone. All right? It's out of our jurisdiction. So awareness is really the number one way that you can prevent these scams and avoid becoming a victim. Trying to recover after the fact is too late most of the times. You don't really get a lot of second chances when it comes to this. So awareness is key. And that's why we do this. We do this live stream every week, spread awareness. We're making pretty good time here. I think I got to go fill up my Scamware 101 Coffee Traveler's mug here. It's feeling a little light. Stay caffeinated for you folks. Which, by the way, you get this sweet Scamware 101 Coffee Traveler mug in our YouTube channel store, on our website, in the merch store link. Help support what we're doing over here and keep your coffee warm at the same time. So check that out. And we're going to be back in a couple minutes here. So stick around. 5 minutes, and we're going to go into some more common scams. We got a lot more common scams coming up here. A lot of good ones coming up. So stick around. Invite your friends. Let's get some more people in these live streams. Lots of good stuff. Help us spread awareness. We'll be back in 5. All right, everybody, we're back. Gotta keep going here. Lots of good stuff coming up still. How y'all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. We're going to continue with the second portion of our live stream here. our weekly live stream, Scamware 101, spreading awareness about common scams that target you, your friends, your family. Important to be aware of these, especially as the holidays start approaching. These scams always pick up during the holidays, and right now it is scam season. It is scam season from now until the end of the year. So be aware of these scams and have your guard up. It's necessary. You can join our free mailing list, scamware101.com, and we'll send you some useful tips, especially as the holidays approach. Hit that like button, invite some friends over. Check out this live stream. We're going to be going for another hour or two here, so lots of good stuff. This next scam that we're going to talk about, arrest warrant scams. A victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. This is a pretty clever scam. It could be scary. It could be a scary situation for somebody if they get one of these calls, right? So the scammer, usually over the phone, they'll call a victim and they'll impersonate a sheriff or the local police department, right? And on top of that, the caller ID will show the sheriff's phone number, right? So that's something that's very important to be aware of, is that these scammers can manipulate caller ID. They could show a completely different phone number on caller ID. So they call you, they impersonate the sheriff, and they put the sheriff's phone number on caller ID. So you think they're actually talking to the sheriff, but you're not, right? And they'll tell you that there's going to be an arrest warrant issued, or they might say there already has been one. And usually they'll say it's because you missed jury duty, or they'll say you failed to show up to court, something scary like that, right? And they'll say you have to make a payment now. You have to pay now, otherwise I'm going to send deputies over there to arrest you. All right? So it could be a scary situation, and that's what the scammers do. They scare the victim into thinking, oh no, I'm going to be arrested. I better pay this now. Right? And then they fall for it, and they give their money away to these scammers. Right? It's all arrest warrant scam. So look, if you get a call about an arrest warrant, right? You want to ask the name of the organization that issued the warrant, right? Then hang up and call the organization directly, right? Go look up the official phone number, call directly. Do not engage with a scammer on the phone, because this isn't really the process that warrants get handled anyway. You don't just get a phone call; they're gonna come knocking. So. Also, there's been reports of this type of scam. The scammers will provide fake paperwork too. So they'll call you, they'll impersonate a sheriff, right? The caller ID will show the sheriff's phone number, and they'll send you fake paperwork claiming to be from the sheriff, right? So they're willing to go that extra mile to try and scam you. So don't fall for it. You have to hang up the phone. And if you're concerned that it's real, reach out directly to the organization that supposedly issued the warrant. A lot of warnings about this scam coming from police departments. They don't like being impersonated by scammers. So lots of warnings about this one floating around about arrest warrant scams. Don't fall for them. Always confirm and verify. Let me know in the chats and in the comments on any of the live streams here if you've ever been targeted by that type of scam. Also, we did a video about that one too, about the arrest warrant scams, and we included some clips of warnings from the local law enforcement. So check out that video a little later on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Always helps. Next scam we're going to talk about here is bank impersonation scams. So scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers. Right? So these scammers, they'll call you up. And again, there's another case where caller ID will actually show your bank's name under caller ID. All right. But it's a scammer. And they call you up. They tell you there's something suspicious under your account. They try to get your details. They'll instruct you to withdraw your money a lot of times and transfer it to another account. And they're targeting these bank impersonation scams. They target victims through phone calls, emails, text messages. And the example that we're going to share here is a text message. There's a scammer that's impersonating the bank. Verify TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes or no if not. All right. An interesting story that goes along with this example is that before this text message was received, the victim also received a phone call. And the phone call showed TD Bank's name on the caller ID. She didn't pick up. And immediately after not answering, she got this text. that also impersonated TD Bank. And in some cases, the scammer might know that your bank is TD Bank. Right? The scammer might already know what bank you use. So they know to impersonate TD Bank when they target you. So don't fall for these types of scams. Even if they call you on the phone first, even if it says your bank's name on the phone, then you get a text message like this. What happens if you replied no? Because that's the idea. They want you to reply no. Right? Then they're going to try to get you on the phone. And then they go into a whole narrative about transferring your money, withdrawing it, and sending it to them. Welcome to the live stream, John. You were driving for 5.5 hours, huh? Chilling in South Carolina. Sweet. What's going on in South Carolina? You visiting family down there? And then, regarding these bank impersonation scams, here's a victim's story, right? So this is a story from last year. She said, "I feel so stupid." She said, this young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. Right, so in her case, she got a phone call. It said Wells Fargo on her caller ID. She thought she could trust it, and she fell for the scam. And in her case, they said it was an issue with her Zelle account. They called her up. They claimed to be from Wells Fargo. They said there was fraudulent activity under her account being sent by Zelle. And they told her she needed to secure her Zelle account by transferring money to another account. She thought she could trust it because her caller ID said Wells Fargo. But that's why you have to be aware of that red flag. You can't, just because the caller ID says Wells Fargo doesn't mean it is. It's very important to be aware that scammers can manipulate the caller ID. And we know they do that in these bank impersonation scams. So watch out for these bank impersonation scams. Even if they get the right bank name and everything. These scammers know things about you. Oh, cool. John's at a Vietnam reunion in Georgia. Oh, cool. On Saturday. So you got a ways, huh? Could be there for a while. Drive down to Florida. A few more hours away. Drive down to South Florida. Next scam we're going to be talking about is tech support scams. This is a common one too. This one's super important to be aware of. A lot of the older folks seem to fall for this one. So make sure the older folks in your life are aware of this tech support scam. But basically how it works is victims receive a fake virus alert on their device and they're tricked into calling a fake tech support phone number. The victim is unknowingly connected to a scammer who requests access to the victim's device. Right? So it's a tricky one because the victims think they're calling tech support. And everybody is vulnerable to this type of scam because how it works is they use a fake pop-up. It's a web page. So anybody browsing the internet could get one of these fake pop-ups. Here's an example of one of those fake pop-ups. And it impersonates McAfee antivirus. It's got the logo, the colors. But you know it's fake because it has a phone number to call. A real virus alert doesn't include a phone number to call. So that's how you know it's fake. That's a big giveaway. You get one of these alerts that says to call a number. It's a scam. Don't do it. You'll actually be connected to a call center full of scammers. Here's another one. It impersonates Norton by Symantec. Threats detected. Call support. And it has a fake number to call. System critically infected. If you're not able to click this button, immediately contact support. Right? But you call that number, it's a scam. And they try to put scary things on here. Your system hard drive may fail. Do not close page until the issue is resolved. All right, scary stuff. But if you call that number, you get connected to a scammer. And again, the way you know is it's got a number to call. Real virus alerts don't have phone numbers to call. Next example, Windows Defender Security Alert. All right, this one impersonates Microsoft's Windows Defender. It has the Microsoft logo, Windows Defender's logo, their colors. Access to this PC has been blocked for security reasons. Contact Windows support, and then it has a number to call. But it's fake. You call that number, you get connected to a scammer. That's how they trick their victims into calling. Again, they use fear. The victim thinks, oh my God, my computer's got a virus. I better call right away. Right? That's a trick. I mentioned earlier how everybody's susceptible to this, and what I meant by that is whether you're on an iPhone, a Windows computer, a MacBook, as long as you're browsing the internet, you get one of these fake pop-ups that tricks you into calling a scammer. And here's some examples that target Mac users. Here's one with the Safari logo. Virus found. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. It then lists all these scary things that are going to happen to try and get you to call this number. Your credit card details and banking information at risk. Email passwords. Chat logs. Private photos. Your webcam. Right, this is call this number, but it's a scam. You call, you get connected to a scammer. Again, that's a giveaway. If it's got a phone number to call, it's a scam. Real virus alerts don't have a phone number to call. This one impersonates Apple Care. Mac OS is infected with viruses and other malicious applications. Viruses must be removed and system damage repaired. Call Apple support. That's got a fake number to call. If you call it, connect to a scammer. And last example here. Another one that impersonates Apple. Please call Apple support. Mac OS is infected with spyware and other malicious applications. All right, but you call that number, it's a scam. Don't fall for it. Don't do it. That's a tech support scam. It could be a scary situation. Somebody gets these fake alerts, right, that pop up on their computer. And this goes back to, you should already have in mind your own computer person that you're going to call. Your own IT support person, whoever your contact is. You should already have in mind who you'd reach out to if you received one of these alerts. So watch out for these tech support scams. Make sure the loved ones, the older folks in your life are aware of that one. And we're going to keep on going here with some more common scams. Say hi in the chat, in the comments. Let me know you're watching. Let me know what scams you want to talk about and hear about. I have a whole list here that we're going over, but I don't have to follow it. I can always switch it around, and I'm here for the people. So let me know what scams you want to talk about. Let me know what scams you're being targeted with and seeing. But in the meantime, we're going to keep going here. And this next scam we're going to be talking about, this one's for John, for Johnny, since he's traveling. And a reminder for Dave, since he's traveling too. Everybody who's listening today is traveling. Road toll scams. Don't fall for them, guys, since you're traveling, right? And anybody is traveling for the holidays that are coming up, be aware of these road toll scams, because the scammers know, and they're going to start targeting people. They know that there's holiday travel, and there's going to be an increase in these fake road toll scams, and fake ticket scams that we'll talk about next. But basically, these road toll scams, they impersonate road toll services like EasyPass, SunPass, and Fast Track. They claim that an unpaid toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by text message or email containing a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal any personal or financial information entered by the victim. Right, and we did a video about this one last year, and at the time, there's a lot of momentum with this scam. We were getting more and more reports of it. We were seeing more and more impersonations varying, like they would impersonate SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, North Texas Tollway, Drive Easy Maryland, Fast Track, Easy Drive Massachusetts. There's so many organizations that we're impersonating, and since then they've only impersonated even more. Now they're impersonating the DMV, DOT, and basically what happens is they send out these text messages. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd in order to avoid excessive late fees and potential legal action. Please pay the tolls in time. Thank you for your cooperation. Right, and then you got a link to a fake website. Notice the instruction on this example, too, at the bottom. That instruction we mentioned earlier, at the red flag, please reply yes and exit and reopen. That's always a red flag when you get a text message including that instruction. And again, it's important to be aware of this one, especially as the holidays are approaching, because the scammers know that the people are traveling, and it's a good time to start sending out these fake road toll scams. Here's another one. The toll road notice of toll evasion. You have an unpaid toll bill on your account. To avoid late fees, pay within 12 hours. The late fees will be increased and reported to the DMV. And there's that instruction to get at the end. Please reply yes, reopen. And you can see the fake websites that they direct to. They put like SunPass in the name to try and make them seem more legit, but they're not the SunPass website. They're fake websites. And you can see this example came from a +63 country code. Right, so another international text message. Always red flag when you get these messages from outside of the country. Another example here. Final warning, unpaid tolls. Failure to pay the $3.99 toll may result in further penalties. Thank you for your cooperation. And that came from international number 231. All right, so there's all different versions of this scam. And in my experience, I think that in the past year, this was one of the first scams we saw to really start adapting the AI text variation, right? Like there's so many different variations. Look, pay your fast track lane tolls by January 24th to avoid a fine and keep your license. You could pay at, right? So there's so many different variations. And I think that these scammers, they just started using AI and generating all these different variations of this unpaid road toll scam. So look, any communication you get about an unpaid road toll, be suspicious of it. Don't trust any links. Definitely don't trust any links. And if you're concerned that's real, check your app, right? If you're a SunPass user or EasyPass user, check your app or account directly. Check official sources if there's something that says you owe a toll. But don't click the link. Don't trust any numbers they tell you to call. It's a big problem, this scam. These fake road toll scams. And this actually evolved a little bit. This scam evolved into a very similar, much similar scam. It's these fake traffic ticket text message scams. And they basically work the same way. You get these random text messages. They claim to have a traffic violation they have to pay. They use scary language, all the things that are going to happen. They're going to suspend your vehicle registration, report to DMV, affect your credit score. In this case, this is an example from the Illinois Department of Vehicles. Right, that's who they're impersonating. This was an example that we were warned about. And what's interesting is we have another example here. And it's actually identical, except it just says Nebraska Department of Vehicles. All right, so it even has the same fake legal code of the violation in there. Same exact repercussions if you don't click the link to pay. All right, but one is for Nebraska and one is for Illinois. And it just goes to show that once you see one of these scams in one state, it's pretty much in all 50 by that point. You see it circulating in one. The scammers just switch out the state and start sending it out to more people. So anyway, watch out for these fake road toll scams, fake traffic ticket scams. And this is important for the next few months, especially during the holidays when there's holiday travel. Scammers know, and they're going to increase these scams that are going out. So don't trust any of these notifications blindly if you're told you have a traffic ticket or road toll. Let me know if you ever received any of those types of text message scams. Pretty sure we all received those road toll scams at some point over the past year. Also, I want to hear what scams you're being targeted with, so let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. I want to hear from you. Give us some reactions. And say hi. Just let us know you're watching. Next scam we're going to talk about. Wrong number scams. We did a video about this scam, and it actually got over 101,000 views so far. It was our first and only video to really go viral like that, so it's pretty cool. But still going pretty strong. We got over 101,000 views on that video on wrong number scams. And basically what they are is scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. All right, so wrong number scams. Let me break that down for you. Right? How this works is scammers are just trying to find new victims. So they're just sending out these completely random text messages to random phone numbers. Right? And the thing that's tricky about this type of scam is it can start in any kind of way. It could be just a random text message that says, "Excuse me, is this Emma?" Right? Or it could be a text message that says, "Hey, Anna, I'm Josie." Or it could even just be as simple as a text message from an unknown number that says, "Hi." Right? The whole idea is these scammers want you to reply back. They want you to say, "Who is this?" or "Wrong number." They want to get some response from you because it confirms that your phone number is active. Right? Which, first of all, it confirms that your phone number is active. So at the very minimum, they know to target you with more scams if you reply. So I always advise never to reply to these wrong number messages. Even if it seems like it might be a wrong number, don't reply. It's not worth the risk, right? But some examples of how the conversation might go if you did reply. All right, so this one starts out with a random text that says, "I'm Margaret. Are you Lillian?" Person replies back, "I'm Izzy." Right? Scammer says, "I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number. Hope I didn't disturb your good day." Right? The victim replies back, "That's okay." Right, at that point, conversation should end. Right? It's been established. It's a wrong number. Right? But it's a wrong number scam, so the scammer's going to keep going. So the scammer replies back, "Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age?" Right? Because this is what they do. They start asking you your age, your location, your name, and then they determine what scam to go with. Here's another example. Random text message. "Have a cup of coffee together sometime." Person replies back, "Who is this?" Fell right into the trap, right? Because that's the idea. They want you to reply. All right, so it replies back, "Who is this?" They go into their whole narrative. "Well, if this is my friend Laura, I'm Zoe, blah, blah, blah." Right? Person replies back, "Yeah, wrong number." Right, at that point, conversation should end. Scammer keeps going, though. "I'm sorry. I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number error code. Hope it's not bothering you." Right? Victim replies back, "Nah. Have a great day." Always smile. Being nice, I guess. All right. Well, then the scammer keeps going because it's a scam. "Thank you for your kindness. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from?" Right? It's not asking where you're from. That's what they do. They ask your age, your location, your name, your sex. They try to determine if you're male or female, right? And then they target you with their scam. Here's another example. This one just started out with "Hi." All right? Person replies back, "Hi, who is this?" "I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. You picked this number for me." "No, sorry, you had the wrong number." Right? Should stop at that point. But it's a scam, so it doesn't. "Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you." All right, that's okay, no problem. Again, conversation should end, but they keep going. "Thank you very much. You're a very friendly, polite person. Hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you?" All right, so now asking your name. Reply Pat. Could be a guy or girl if you're a mess with them, reply Pat. And they go, "You have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live?" So see what's happening here? They're asking your name, they're asking where you live, they're asking your age. They're trying to gather information about the stranger that's replying. So you never want to reply. You don't even want them to know that it's an active phone number. All right. And one more example here. In this example, they'll attach a picture of a woman, right? They'll attach pictures to these text messages. They're trying to add a little extra incentive to reply, right? So this text message comes in, "Hi, Byron, I'm Jane," and there's a picture of a girl, all right? This could be a stolen picture, but it could also be a picture generated with AI, because these scammers can just generate AI pictures now, which is wild, right? And you'll notice this text message came in at 1:58 p.m., and there's no reply, right? And then 4 hours later, 4 hours on the dot, at 5:58 p.m., follow-up text message. "Have you gotten the pictures I sent?" Right? So a couple things I want to point out about this. This is a bot. This isn't even a real person just sitting there going like this. Right? This is a bot that's just programmed to send the same message to thousands and thousands of phone numbers. Right? If a phone number doesn't reply, it's programmed to send the follow-up 4 hours later. Right? And it's programmed to just gather this information about you. And then at some point, it'll introduce a real scammer once it gathers all your information. Right? But these initial messages, they're all automated for the most part. They're bots. They're not even real people. And when you reply, you're just letting them know it's an active number to target more. So, and also I mentioned, we did a video on these wrong number scams, and the video got over 101,000 views and got a decent amount of comments too. And a lot of people were leaving comments, saying that they received this exact same message, exact same image, picture of the woman attached. Right. So these are a scam that's circulating and targeting hundreds of thousands of people. So don't fall for it. If you get a message like this, it's not your lucky day. You got to ignore it. Sorry. So watch out for these wrong number scams. And once they hook you, right, they try to go into either a romance scam or a pig butchering scam. And neither are good. Both of them are going to try to clear out your accounts. So watch out for these wrong number scams. They're extremely common, a lot more common than most people realize. So don't fall for them. Make a pretty good time here. I got to update the agenda again. How are we all doing out there this evening? Let me know you're watching in the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We're going for some more time here. So still time to share, get some more people in here. Lots of good details and information about these scams coming up. And I want to hear from you. So let me know you're watching. So let's see. Next up, we're going to keep on continuing into some more common scams here. Let's update the list, the schedule. All right. It says next batch of scams. That's a good batch here. And by the way, all scams we're talking about, they're all common, all actively circulating. These aren't old scams that are out of circulation. These are scams that are still targeting regular folks every day over the phone and email. You know, even the snail mail scams that we're going to share with you later on. You know, they're all active and new and circulating. So important to be aware of these so you can protect yourself. Let's go into our next scam example here. Gift card received scam. It's the email version of this scam. Victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right, so you get an email that says you received a $50 Venmo gift card. Your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. All right, but this is a scam. This is a fake email. If you click that link to activate, it's going to install malware on your device. So what do you do in a situation like this? Well, you got to confirm. Just like the other scams, you need to confirm it through official sources. So in this case, it says it's from your employee, or it's an employee rewards card, right? So what we do, confirm with your employer first before clicking that link. Talk to your employer and say, hey, did you send me this employee rewards card? Right? If they say yes, great, thank you, and activate it. But if they say no, then you know it was a scam, right? So you need to confirm. Same thing goes if you receive this from, it might say it's from your friend or a family member. Right? You want to reach out to them, confirm first. And you're going to want to say thank you if they really did send it. So 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So watch out for these fake gift card received email scams. John mentioned he's going to be at a Vietnam reunion. He's going to hear some Tom Anderson war stories, you know, referencing the Tom Anderson interviews in Butthead, right? But when you said Tom Anderson, I thought of a guy from MySpace. Isn't that the MySpace guy too, Tom Anderson? Because when you said that was the first that popped in my mind was the MySpace guy. Remember the picture of him running on the board in the MySpace profile? Anyway, funny stuff. Let's continue with these scams. This was another good one that to be aware of, another holiday scam that we're going to see. We're already seeing increase. And we're going to see more of it as the holidays approach. These undeliverable package scams. This one, victims receive a notification about an undeliverable package, and they're asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Any personal information or financial details provided are stolen by the scammers right on the fake website. And again, this one picks up during the holidays because everybody's sending or expecting packages. And you might get something like this. A text message that says, UPS ground, reschedule your shipment delivery. We attempted to deliver your UPS package on June 28th, 30th. There's a little grammar mistake there, so that's always a red flag. But we're unable to contact you, and the delivery could not be completed. Your package needs to be signed for in person, so please reschedule delivery by doing the following. Reschedule now, and it has a link to the fake website. They put ups.com in the website's name, but that's not the website. Right? It directs you to a fake website. And the idea is they're going to try to get you to pay for redelivery, but steal your details. There is no package. It is all fake. Here's another example. From USPS, subject, due to an invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered. but has been suspended due to incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your address before 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender. There's a link to update it, but it's a fake link, and it's going to steal any details if you go there. If you did click the link, it might take you to a fake website that looks like this. And it'll look legit, right? It has their logo, the USPS's colors. It even has a fake tracking number listed there. Right? Because putting up these fake websites is no big deal for these scammers. They have them ready to go. And any shipping details or payment details you enter will get stolen. And there's no package. Sometimes they'll send you a group text message. And they name the group text message to USPS to make it seem like it's more believable. Make it appear more believable. Since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted. Please update. And it's got the link to the fake website. A couple more examples here. Sometimes they include attachments to the text message. Here's an example. It has a USPS logo. Dear customer, your package has arrived at the distribution facility. We are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file above to update your address. Now look, you should never open attachments that were unexpected and from unsolicited sources, right? Especially if they're HTML attachments, those can be dangerous. They can install malware on your device. And in this case, it only takes you to a fake website, but worst case, it'll install malware on your device. So you get these random messages from claiming to be from USPS, UPS. Right? Don't trust them. And the thing about these text messages is UPS, FedEx, USPS, they don't send out these text messages. So you can know right away that it's a scam. It's not real because they don't send out text messages like these. If you want, you can get updates on specific packages, but you have to go and request them individually for each package. They don't just send blanket random text messages about packages you're supposed to receive, right? So any text messages that are claimed to be from FedEx, USPS, UPS, saying you have an undeliverable package, don't trust it. It's a scam. Especially as the holidays are approaching, we're going to be seeing this one more and more. We're already seeing it come in more and more, the reports. So don't fall for these undeliverable package scams. And let me know in the chat and in the comments if you've been targeted by this type of scam, or if you've seen an increase in these going out. It takes a village. You got to watch out for each other community-wise and share this information. So regarding these undeliverable package scams, there is an article that I do like to go over when we talk about these. It was from last year. It was published in Wired magazine. And it's a fun little story where these USPS text scammers, the scam we just talked about, they duped this guy's wife, so he hacked their operation. Right? Basically, this guy's wife fell for the scam. She entered her credit card details, gave them to the scammers. And then the husband ended up hacking their operation, which I think is great. It's you get a kick out of that, right? So there's a win somewhere in there that he at least hacked their operation. And it's fascinating the details that the article share with you about the operation, the scam operation behind the scenes that he discovered. First of all, he discovered that it's a Chinese language-based triad, criminal organization, a Chinese-based one. And they were sending out 100,000 scam text messages per day globally, right? 100,000 per day. And this is just one group, right? One crime group sending out these text messages. Who knows how many other groups are sending out the same scam text messages. So this group alone is sending out 100,000 scam text messages. That's what they were capable of at least a year ago. So they're probably sending out even more nowadays. All right. Then the article goes on to say that over 438,669 unique credit cards were on file with the scammers. So almost 500,000 credit cards numbers were stolen from victims. Many people entered multiple cards each. And it says more than 50,000 email addresses were logged too. And some of them included military and government email addresses. Right? So everybody was falling for this scam. The scammers got 500,000 unique credit cards on file. So that's pretty successful. They're having a lot of success with this scam. And they have the technology to send out hundreds and thousands of these text messages a day, right? So it gives you a peek of behind the scenes of, one, what they're capable of. Two, the amount of success they're having, which it seems like it's a lot, right? 500,000 credit cards. So the scammers are winning. But at least this guy got into their system, right? duped his wife, and he got a little revenge on those scammers. Then the article does go on to say that he was able to help a bunch of the victims, and he worked with banks to notify the victims. So that was good. We'll count this one as a win. You know, it's a one battle, winning the battle, but we're definitely losing the war, folks. So watch out for these scammers, and just know we're up against what we're up against. Hundreds and thousands of scam text messages per day. All right, and AI is making it even more trickier to spot these scammers. So anyway, this is a fun little story I like to share, published in Wired magazine last year, just regarding this USPS undeliverable package, text message scam. Let me know in the chat you're watching. Let me know if you've been targeted by any scams we're going over tonight. Let me know if you want to talk about any scams, have questions. I'll do my best to answer your questions. Right, and awareness is key. It really is. It's how you're going to protect yourself. Finding out after the fact is no good. So anyway, that was a definitely watch out for that undeliverable package scam as the holidays continue approaching. And we also have another scam here to watch out as the holidays start approaching. All these scams, they go on all year round, but they definitely increase during the holidays. And this one's a fake retail website scam. That's when the scammers create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. And we're going to share some examples of these fake websites that from last year during the holidays. Actually, this time last year. And it's important, especially when it comes to these trending items. Scammers know what's going on. They know what items are trending. They know how to pique people's interest. Right? And here's some examples of some fake retail websites from last year. You can see it's got the Black Friday sale banner across the top. And it's offering a Tech Rift wireless headphones. They say they're valued at $175, but you can get them, just pay for shipping. Tolls $8.95. Right, but this is a scam. You'll never get those headphones, and any payment details you enter are going to get stolen by the scammers. Here's another one. Same scam. They got the Black Friday banner across the top. Portable heater. Again, valued at $175, but just pay for shipping, $8.69. Again, you'll never get the heater, and any details you enter will be stolen by the scammer. And another example here. Again, Black Friday sale, the fake banner across the top. This one's for wireless Bluetooth earbuds. And down here, they say valued at $175, but just pay for shipping, $8.69. But it's a scam. They'll steal any payment details and other personal details that you enter. The wireless earbuds, they're a hot item. So we see these a lot over the past couple years on these fake retail website scams. And there's a lot of ways you could end up on one of these fake retail websites, right? One of the ways is Facebook or social media ads, right? Scammers purchase ads on social media like anybody else, right? And unfortunately, Facebook is really bad at blocking those ads. You report them, but they just keep on coming up. So you can't trust ads on social media, on Facebook. Same thing goes for search engine results on Google. Right? Scammers purchase search engine results just like anybody else. So just because it's a sponsored listing or it comes up on page 1, that doesn't mean you could trust it. A scammer could have put that website up. Right? It could be a fake website. And then another way they can end up on is the emails. Right? You get these emails that say special offer, right, or valued customer discount or Black Friday sale. Click here, and they'll direct you to these fake websites. So you have to have your guard up, especially during the holidays, because we're going to be seeing this a lot. If the offer seems too good to be true, it probably is. Especially if they're saying, you could get a $100, $200 item by just paying for shipping. That's too good to be true. Definitely look into the website. If you're gonna risk it, use a credit card. Don't pay with a bank account. Don't pay with a bank card. If you're gonna risk it, use a credit card because you have a little bit more leverage about, filing a complaint with the credit card company. But if it's too good to be true, it's going to be a risk. So watch out for this type of scam. These fake retail websites, especially during the holidays. All you people out there buying your Labubus, looking for your deals on these special Labubus, watch out for those fake retail websites. How y'all doing? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I'm not really paying attention to viewer count, so there could be nobody watching. There could be a million people watching, and you're just being quiet. I don't know. So say hi in the comment. Comments in the chat. I want to hear from you. Give us some reactions. And make sure to join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. It's free to join. We'll send you useful scam awareness tips, reminders during the holidays. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Grandparent scams. So these are one of those scams that should aggravate everybody. It's pretty low. It's pretty low to target grandparents like they do, the older folks like they do. I mean, that's why it's called a grandparent scam. They're targeting the older folks out there and trying to take advantage. And they're also using the younger folks as bait. And basically what a grandparent scam is scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. You know, your parents and your grandparents, right? And, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I would know if somebody was impersonating a loved one. I wouldn't fall for this. But we actually have a video we're going to play for you of a scammer performing one of these grandparent scams. And it gives you a little bit more insight, I feel, as if how somebody could fall for this. The first 20 seconds, you'll see the scammer calls up. He impersonates a loved one, but it's a loved one in distress. It could be anyone's loved one, right? So I feel like almost anybody could fall for that first 20 seconds. And then he immediately starts impersonating a police officer, which I'll show you and you'll see. So here's the scammer. And again, this is a grandparent scammer. He's located in the Dominican Republic. And apparently there's some groups out there running this grandparent scam. And what he is he's known as the opener. He calls the victim. He initially calls the victim, and he's the one that tells them the whole story, right? Says your loved one. He impersonates their loved one. Then he impersonates the cop, right? And then he tells the victim to stand by for a phone call, right? And then he hands off the scam to different scammers to close out and get the funds, right? But what we're going to watch is we're going to watch him open the scam, where he impersonates the loved one and where he goes into the whole story telling the victim what's going on. All right, so let's take a listen here. Oh, and by the way, we got this video. A shout out to the YouTuber Scam Sandwich is his YouTube channel out there. So go check it out. If you want to see the whole video, go check out his channel, and you can see the whole video because it is really entertaining. He basically hacked into this scammer's computer, and that's how we're able to get this recording of him performing this scam. I'm only going to show you the short clip, but it goes on to he confronts the scammer, and it's a really good video. So check out the whole video if you want to. It's Scam Sandwich was the guy's YouTube channel. So check that out. But this is just a short clip. I'll show you how grandparent scam is initiated, and this is the guy that opens it.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm gonna need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye, ma'am.
All right. Bye.
The next. All right, so that's how a grandparent scam gets initiated. And you could tell for the first 20 seconds how he impersonates the loved one. And it's a loved one in distress. Like, it really could sound like anybody's loved one, the way he's sitting there crying and impersonating, right? Then after 20 seconds, he switches over to impersonate the police officer. He puts the police scanner playing in the background, trying to make it sound like he's over at calling from a police station, trying to make it sound realistic, right? Hey, Shelly, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right. And he tells the victim, so-and-so's been in an accident, but let's respect her wishes and not tell anybody. She's embarrassed, right? But that's actually a red flag. They're tricking the victim into staying quiet, right? They tell the victim, oh, we've confiscated her phone, so don't bother trying to call, which is another psychological trick, trying to trick her not even to bother trying to call their loved one, because if they do, they might reach them, right? So there's all these psychological tricks going into this scam. And basically, he says, stand by, and we're going to call you back, ma'am, right? And what happens after that is the scam gets handed off to closers, right? And those closers, they reach out to the victim, and they start impersonating police officers, court personnel, law offices, defense attorneys, right? And in each case, they're going to try to extract more and more money from your grandmother and loved one, your grandmother, your mother, right? So it's pretty ruthless and low-down scam, these grandparent scams. And you could see from that video how, at least I could understand how somebody could fall for this type of scam when, when the first 20 seconds they're impersonating someone in distress, right? So make sure your older folks in your life are aware of this scam and not to fall for it. And another thing that's interesting about this scam is a couple of weeks ago in the headlines, there's been a different version, a variation of this scam, right? So in this one, they call your grandparents and they're saying, oh, your loved one's been locked up. Well, there was a version of this scam where it was targeting the parents of college students, right? So I guess what was happening is these scammers were getting a list of students, right? And they were reaching out to their parents, and they would go into the same narratives. Your son or daughter's is been arrested by campus police, right? And they need assistance, and they need money or whatever, right? So it's a different variation of this that targets the parents of college students. All right, so just anybody that has kids or grandkids, you should be aware of this type of scam because you could be targeted. And again, it's an example of how these scammers, they create this false sense of urgency in a scary situation where it's like, oh my God, I got to help my daughter, my granddaughters, they're in trouble. I got to help them, right? And it's this fake sense of urgency. And they clear the victim out. They're going to keep on going until there's no more money to get. So watch out for this one. Don't fall for this one. The grandparent scams, the scammers are pretty ruthless. Again, they want to take everything they got from your parents, your grandparents. Any inheritance that you got sitting there, they'll take it. So protect your inheritance and protect your parents and grandparents at the same time, because the scammers want to take it all. Next scam we're going to talk about are fake order scams. These fake order scams, these are super important to be aware of. And the reason why is because we're being targeted from all directions when it comes to these fake order scams. And what I mean by that is we're receiving phone calls, we're receiving text messages, we're receiving emails that are all attempting to scam us in this way of a fake order scam. Right? And basically, victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial information. Right? So let's look at some examples of this. Because the whole idea is they try to trick a victim that an order was placed, and they try to trick you into calling to dispute it. All right, so this was an example of a text message was reported to me by quite a few people, and impersonates Apple. It says, Apple approval notice. We have noticed that your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at the Apple Store for $143. paid by Apple Prepay authorization. And that says, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. All right. So the idea is somebody gets this text message and says, I didn't make a $143 purchase. I better call this number to dispute it. All right. But that's the whole scam. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. All right. So, and that's how the fake order scam works. The notification, it could say anything was purchased. They could impersonate any vendor. That's why this type of scam is so tricky, because it could be so many, there's unlimited variations. They could claim to be from any vendor. They could claim any item was purchased. It doesn't matter. The whole idea is they just want you to call back to dispute it. So that was a text message version of this scam. But next, I'm actually going to play you some phone call versions of this scam. And these phone calls are actively circulating. Many people have reported these. And I have two examples to share with you. All right, so in this first example, it's going to impersonate Amazon, and it's going to say a MacBook Pro was purchased. And it's going to tell you to press 1 to dispute it. Right? And the idea was you were supposed to answer when this call came in, and you're supposed to get freaked out because I didn't purchase a $1,400 MacBook Pro. Let me press 1 to dispute this. If you press 1, you get connected to a scammer. Right? Clever, right? Let's listen to this recording. Many people reported this same recording to me. We share this recording in a video that we posted about this scam, and many people have commented, confirming they received the same phone call. So important to be aware of this one. Let's take a listen.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
Right? So, and also, by the way, it's a red flag when they don't leave a real number to call. When they tell you to press 1 or to call the number displayed, it's a red flag. Right? So in this case, they're trying to scare you into pressing 1, which would connect you to a scammer. And that's how this scam works. Once you connect to this scammer, they'll go into telling you somebody stole your identity, somebody's making purchases, and eventually they're going to try to get money out of you somehow. They'll try to convince you to transfer your money, withdraw it, and purchase crypto or something. But let's listen to another example of these fake order scams. This one impersonates, who did it impersonate? Walmart. Impersonates Walmart, and they claim that a PlayStation was purchased. All right, so let's take a listen to this recording.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
All right, so there's another one that impersonates Walmart and claims that you purchased a PlayStation and tries to trick you into calling back the number shown. Right? There's a red flag. It doesn't even leave a real phone number. They just say, call back number shown. But if you call back whatever number was shown, you'll be connected to a scammer. All right? And the idea is to scare you into, I didn't purchase that a PlayStation for $400, $500. I think that's what I said, right? $400, $500? I don't know. I'm not a gamer. But you get the point. So, look, I showed you a text message version of this scam. I played you 2 phone call versions of this scam. But I mentioned that, again, we're being targeted from all directions when it comes to these fake order scams. So let's talk about email. We actually have a story from a victim here. A story came in last year. There's been plenty of more stories since, but it's just one we have saved from last year. A 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. All right, so, and let's pause there. A 23-year-old woman. Right, so a lot of these scam examples I'm sharing with you this evening, they're younger folks falling for them. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but they're younger folks. So there's this false assumption that only older folks are falling for scams. And that's not true. In fact, younger folks fall for more scams than the older folks do. At least according to the most recent FTC report from earlier this year, it's the younger folks that are falling for more scams. But the older folks, even though they're falling for less scams, they're losing more money because they have more money to lose to the scams. Right? They're getting their retirement funds cleared out, and and their life savings cleared out. Where the younger folks, they don't have as much to lose, but they are falling for more scams, right? So really everybody, there's a reason for everybody to take the time to better their scam awareness and to be more prepared, right? Because everybody's a target, whether it's the older folks that have more to lose or the younger folks that are just falling for more scams. They think they're too smart to fall for a scam and then they fall for them, right? So awareness is important. So anyway, going back to this, a 23-year-old Lincoln woman, she reported losing $4,100, right? And basically what happened was she got an email that claimed she purchased an iPhone. And then she called the number in the email to dispute the purchase, right? So that's your example right there of the fake order scam. She got notified that, oh, your iPhone was purchased. Oh, you didn't make this order? Dispute it by calling this number. And she called the number thinking she was calling Apple probably, but she ends up calling scammers. You don't realize it. She thinks she's calling Apple to dispute an order and she calls scammers. So, and then what's great about this article is it tells us what happens after she's talking to the scammers, right? So that's how the fake order scam works. The idea is to get you to call into a fake support number. And then they go into their whole scam. Right, so she calls this fake support center, going to dispute this supposed order that was placed. There was no order, but she's going to dispute this fake order. And she was told that somebody is using her identity and had opened multiple accounts across various states. They then connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. All right, so there's that red flag about gift cards. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right, so that's an email example of these fake order scams. She gets an email, it says that she purchased an iPhone, not you, call this number. She falls for it, she calls numbers, she's connected to scammers. Then they go into that whole narrative about your identity's been stolen, you need to move your money and purchase gift cards and send them to this email address. Right, but the scammers know once they receive those gift card numbers, that's it, they clear them out. The victim's not going to be able to retrieve that money. So that's why awareness is important. Again, those red flags about the unusual forms of payment. Any mention of a gift card should be a red flag. Because we know scammers love to get paid that way, right? So anyway, fake order scams. Keep your guard up, right? Emails, phone calls, text messages. And in all the examples I showed you, right? In the example where they impersonated Amazon, instead of pressing 1 or calling them back, right, go check your Amazon account directly. Right, don't trust anything that the message says. Right, same thing with that iPhone example. Just check your Apple account. Right, there's no reason to trust these fake order notifications. So be alert. Don't fall for it. Important to be aware of that one. How we all doing this evening? Hope we're doing good. It's a little quiet tonight. So say hi, let me know you're watching, give me some reactions. We're going to keep going here. Usually go for at least another hour. So hit that like button, let me know you're watching. I want to hear your experiences. I'll answer your questions if you got any. We're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So hit that like button and help us spread awareness here. If your first time tuning in, you join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders about when we're going live, some scam alerts and warnings. You can unsubscribe at any time. But Scamaware 101, check it out. Also, you want to help support us financially, we'll take a donation too. You can subscribe to one of our memberships over on YouTube. We have super chats and super thanks enabled. If you want to help us out that way, also you can donate directly. Scamaware101.com/donate. We have a link at the bottom of our site too. It says donate or support. So we'll take whatever we could get. Help us spread awareness about these scams. It's important. We're just trying to put something good out there and help people. All right. So next we're going to talk a little bit about Some group chat scams. We're working on a more in-depth video about these group chat scams, but it's worth talking about here on the live stream. We started talking about it last week too. And there's been a few different kinds of group text scams over the years. So on the screen, here's an example of 3 different group text scams. The first one is a group chat, and it's a Coinbase scam. It basically says your Coinbase approval code and tells you to call this number. It's a good example of another fake order scam, right? You call a number, you get connected to a scammer. And it was sent to a group of people. And the idea is they just want those group of people to try and fall for the scam. It's just a way for them to reach more people than sending it to individual. All right. Then we have an example of a traffic ticket scam, which we went over earlier. Right? And it impersonates Florida motor vehicles, and it was sent to a group. It's just another way that the scammers are trying to reach multiple people as opposed to just going one by one. And we have another group chat scam here example. And it impersonates USPS. We showed you this one earlier. Right? And they renamed the group to USPS to appear more believable. Right? So that's just 3 different examples of some common group text messages. And the thing about those group text messages, really, they're not that different from the individual text messages. It's just a way they were using it to kind of reach more people. Right? So that's one variation of these group text messages that you could be targeted by. But recently, we've noticed a newer trend of these empty text messages being created. These empty group chats that look like this. Right? And you just get added to this group chat. You can't tell who added you. You just see that there's 19 other phone numbers as part of the group chat. And the thing that's different from these other examples that we showed you here is that the scammer never sends a message to the group. So it's this empty group chat. Right? So it could be confusing if you get added to one of these group chats. You don't know if it's a scam, if somebody added you by mistake, who are these other phone numbers? Why has it got some weird name like that? You don't know what's going on. But so let me clear up what's going on for you though. Here's what's going on with these group texts. This is another way for scammers to try and find active phone numbers. And what I mean by that is if you leave the group chat, if you choose to leave the conversation, right? Meaning there's an option. You could leave a conversation. And a lot of people will do that when they're added to a group chat, right? They just leave the conversation. Problem with that is it announces it to the group, as you can see on my screen. It announces it to the group, including the scammer, because the scammer's in there with you. The scammer's in there with everybody else. He's monitoring. So when you leave this group, he sees, oh, that's an active phone number. Let's target that one with more scams. All right. So you don't want to leave these group chat scams, whether it's these traditional ones where they send you a message, right? You don't want to leave them because it announces to the scammer that you're an active phone number. And the same thing goes for these empty group chat scams. If you leave them, it announces it. So you don't want to leave them. Instead, what you want to do is you block them. You block the group, and that will quietly stop their messages, from being received by you. And it won't announce to them that your number is active, right? So that's the proper way to handle these group chat scams. Whether they sent you a message or it's an empty one, like in this example. Right? Because you see an example, all these people are leaving. So now you know those numbers are active and to target them. So you don't want to leave the conversation because then you're announcing, hey, target me more. And again, same goes for these other group text message scams. Let me know in the chat if you've been receiving any of those empty group chat scams that we just mentioned. It's starting to become a more common trend. More people are receiving those type of group chat scams. And it's clever because the scammer, by the way, regarding these group text message scams, I don't know if it's different on an iPhone or not, but on an Android device, you can't see who started the group chat. Unless they send a message to the group, you don't know who the scammer is. You can't tell who started it. You just see all the other numbers that are there in the group with you. So you don't even know what number to report. There's not even an option to report it. And to block the group, the option isn't actually available inside of the chat. You actually have to exit the chat, and you have to block it from the messages screen. And what I mean by that Here, let me show you a video. On Android, at least, you actually have to block it from the messages screen list. See, here's a list of text messages. You have to hold down, and you can block the group from there. You can't block it from inside the message. So it's kind of hidden. People might not realize that. I didn't realize that. So people leave the conversation instead. And that's exactly what the scammer wants. They want you to leave the conversation because then you know to target you more. So, again, instead, just block the group. All right. About ready to hit 2 hours. We start at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It's about ready to hit 2 hours. We're going to keep going here. Take my quick second break, quick 5-minute break like we usually do. And we should continue the rest of the live stream uninterrupted. So if you're watching, stick around. Don't go nowhere. Now's a great time to hit that like button. Let me know in the chat and in the comments that you're here and watching and what you want us to talk about when we get back. We're going to be back in 5 minutes to continue this live stream. We're actually going to go check out the scam tracker map on AARP website, which is pretty cool. So we're going to check that one out in about 5 or 10 minutes here. So lots of good stuff still coming up. Stick around. Maybe I'll play a little song on this break here. Let me get our theme song up here for you.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer rituals. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing the youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. The PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, back wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammerware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broken instead. Stay woke, my equal, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. You acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right, cool. Coming back from a second break of the evening here, and then we're going to continue. Hope you enjoyed our theme song during the break. Let me know in the chat if you're just joining. Let me know you're watching. We'll see how much longer to go tonight. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, let's do a scam tracker map. It seems like a slow night, so we'll do the scam tracker nap and then scam tracker nap, scam tracker map, and we'll see if it's still quiet after that. Maybe we'll wrap a little early if there's not that many viewers tonight, but we'll still give it a go. And the scam tracker map is really one of my favorite parts of the live stream here. So basically, on our tools and software page on Scamware 101, one of the last links we have here is a scam tracking map. All the way down here, ARP Scam Tracker Map. And what's cool about this map is you can see scam reports coming in from all over the country. And they're fairly recent reports. For example, the recent ones here are just 2 days old. The most recent ones are from November 11th, so 2 days ago. And it's a good resource to get an idea of what type of scams are coming in, which ones are starting to trend a little more. Sometimes it gives you some additional details from what the person experienced during the scam. So let's take a look here and we'll see if there's any scams worth talking about. Gift card scams and fraud. Hacked my work email and work Amazon account and purchased thousands of dollars in Amazon and GameStop gift cards. Wow. I don't think they gave any details on how the scam occurred. Let's see. Nah, they didn't give any details on how the scam occurred, but sadly that's the result of getting scammed, right? Which is why awareness is key. Find out after the fact, it's too late. So it would be nice to let us know how they got scammed. Probably clicked on some kind of link, some kind of fake email link. They say hacked my work email. So yeah, they probably click on an email link. Be careful with those email links, folks. Let's see what this next report is. Fake order notification for crypto. Cool. Let's see if this gives any more details. Appointment scheduled. What year? Charges pending. Hope you're doing well. Contact before after the charge. Okay. So this person's reporting a fake order notification, but in this case, it's for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and ETH. It looks like. So the person gets an email. It says that your purchase for Bitcoin has went through. Your $400 purchase, and it says to call this number to dispute it. But it's a fake order notification. It's just another variation of a fake order notification. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. Right? This wasn't a real purchase, and it's trying to trick you into calling the scammers. And we talked about the fake order notifications, and it's just another variation of that. Always be suspicious over any kind of notification that claims you placed an order. Business imposter scam, job offer. Ah, cool. Let's take a look at this. Maybe they give us this job offer scam here. Hello, my name is Lisa. I'm a recruiting professional, a representative from Remotive. We're currently offering flexible remote work opportunities that allow you to work from home according to your own schedule. All right, working hours, 69 minutes per day, flexible time, $200, $500, right? Daily pay, $200, $500. They make it sound, these are too good to be true. Must have a phone, computer, blah, blah, blah. So a text message, yes. Yeah, so look, these scammers, a lot of them are job scams. They're targeting you by text message. You really can't trust any unsolicited text message claiming to be about a job. There's so many fake ones going around right now. Oh, here's a check scam. Let's see what this person said. Had table for sale on Nextdoor. That's the other merchant site I couldn't remember when we were talking about the fake retail or the merchant websites like Facebook Marketplace. Right, Nextdoor was the other one too. You need to watch out for those. That scam where they say, "Let me verify your identity," and they say they got to send a code to your phone. Right, but that's a scam. You need to watch out for that. But anyway, let's see what this person's reporting. Had a table for sale on Nextdoor. Person wanted it, but out of town now. Sent me cashier's check for table, an extra for trucker to take table. Check was for a huge amount more. Did not cash checks. No transaction had to be made for extra money. Never have them get your account. Okay, cool. So this person, good. They didn't fall for it, but they're reporting it. And this is a good example of a scam that you could run into online. What they do is they'll send you a fake check, right, to cover the item and for you to ship the item or truck the item, right? And the idea is that you deposit this check, you ship the item, and then about 48 hours later, you find out the check was bad, but it's too late. You've already sent the item and paid for shipping and everything, paid for it to be trucked out there. I think I've heard cases of this, like with pianos and big items like that. They'll send you a fake check to cover trucking it out there, like freighting it out there, right? But then the check bounces 2 days later because it's fake. So you need to watch out for that type of scam on a marketplace website as well. That's a good report. Nice thing to keep in mind and be aware of. Let's see what the next page says here with scams. And let me know in the chat and comments if you receive these types of scams or know someone that's been targeted with these types of scams. And again, these reports are all recent reports, from 2 days ago. So these are scams are circulating right now, and you could be targeted next. This person receives daily phone calls from different numbers. Sounds like AI. It appears to think it is actually talking to someone since there are pauses for responses. There you go. That's similar to one example I played for you earlier. Saying that I've been approved for a $63K loan, but before it could be finalized, I need some additional information, including my income and other little details. They leave a callback number with instructions. Ends with a warning. Will expire soon. Yeah. Unfortunately, this person is getting those calls daily. You need to watch out for those. You've been approved. I get text messages like that too. You've been approved for a $250K loan, but that's a scam. If you're getting messages about loans that you didn't apply for, it's probably a scam. I wouldn't trust it. Here we are. A text supposedly from Apple support saying someone has placed a restriction on my Apple Pay account. I was asked to call. Let's see what else to say here. I was asked to call Apple support at an 800 number, which I did not. I believe it is a scam. Yeah, that sounds like a typical scam. If you got a text message impersonating Apple, problem with your account, call us back at this number. But if they call back, they actually connect to a scammer. You really can't trust any unsolicited communications. Text messages, emails. Oh, excellent. Cool. So here's someone that reported. I received a letter from a lawyer in Toronto stating someone with the same last name died and we were going to split the inheritance after we gave 10% to charity. Gave me numbers and emails to contact for instructions and stated we need to keep this confidential. Right. So that's a snail mail scam, right? They received it in traditional email. Not email, sorry, traditional email. There's an oxymoron there. Traditional mail, right? They received it through postal service. And it's an actual letter impersonating a law office in Canada and claiming someone passed away with the same last name and you're entitled to inheritance. We actually have that example right here to share with you. So I always like finding, well, not necessarily like, but I always appreciate finding out that some of the scam examples we have are still actively circulating. So we have an example of that one right here. Here's a letter. Right? It's a fake inheritance scam letter. It's impersonating a law office in Canada. Right? This one's from November 29th last year, so it's just about a year old. Right? But apparently it's still circulating, or at least the same type of scam is still circulating in the mail, traditional mail. Right? And it goes on to say that someone's sharing your same last name. Right? And the person it was addressed to in this case, the person that reported it, they did make the last name match the supposed fake relative that passed away. They make sure to make the last names match on each letter, each scam letter they send out. So that's a little attention to detail that they pay to try and make it more believable. But it claims that you're entitled to a $10.8 million inheritance, and they'll handle it for you. They ask you to keep it confidential, which is a red flag that we talked about earlier, right? We're talking about 5 red flags. Yeah, so be aware of this type of inheritance scam letter that you receive. And this person reported to AARP, and we have the example right there for you, right? Let's see. Health-related scam. Let's take a look at that, because these health-related scams are kind of picking up now with open enrollment going on and all the changes to Medicare and like the... Look, we mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Social Security and how scammers take advantage of like when things are going on with Social Security and there's confusion. Scammers take advantage of that, and you start getting more calls from Social Security imposter, impersonation scammers. Well, the same thing goes on with Medicare and healthcare, especially these Medicare numbers. All right, there's a lot of Medicare and healthcare fraud going on, and it starts increasing when there's more and more confusion over it. And if you pay attention to news at all, you know that healthcare has been crazy, on the news, and nobody knows what's going on and what's happening with everything. And so scammers pay attention. They look out for these types of confusion, and they increase these scams, right? And in this case, this person reports a Medicare impersonation scam. It looks like she's getting 5 or more calls a day from various phone numbers offering Medicare flex cards or other Medicare related services. Right. So, I mean, that could be just salespeople, but it's probably scams. It probably is scams, because what they're going to do is they're going to ask your Medicare number. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people's Medicare numbers, and then they can file false claims using the information. Then they get reimbursed, right? They get reimbursed for those false claims or the equipment. They turn around and sell the equipment. So you never get anybody your Medicare number if they're calling you. And here's a second person reporting a Medicare scam. In their case, it is the one we hear about a lot. They get a call from a scammer, and the scammer says, "Have you received your new Medicare card yet?" And then you're like, no, I didn't. Right? Then they ask for, the date that I became eligible for Medicare, and told me where to look on my card. She would wait until I got it. That's why I knew that was a fraudulent call, because, of course, Medicare would already have that information. Right? Okay. I'd like to know where it would have went after that. But clearly the scammer asked more details, right? It asks her for the date that they got the card, and it looks like they'll ask the number, obviously, after that. So they're trying to obtain all this information on the patient. This way they could turn around and file false claims. Whatever information they need to file these false claims, that's what they're trying to get from this person. They do it under the ruse that, hey, we're going to send you a new Medicare card. We need you to confirm these details. All right, but it's actually a trick to get your personal details. Yeah, watch out for those Medicare scams. They're picking up right now. More and more reports of them. Bank imposter scam. They called up, said they're from Wells Fargo. Yep, got to be aware of any bank claiming to be from a bank. Any calls, any communication, email, calls, text messages. Cryptocurrency scams and fraud. This is the type of scam a lot of younger folks are falling for, and they're losing a lot of money to this. These fake crypto scams. They trick you into downloading these apps and participating in their trading groups. And you have this app, but the whole thing's fake. The app will it'll be like, oh, you have $500,000 in your account now. You're doing great, when you only deposited $10,000. But it's all fake. Those funds don't exist. They're not really in the account. It's all fake, and it's designed to make you think that you're making all this money. And they want you to keep on depositing more money. Look how much money you've made, sir. Keep on depositing, right? But you're never going to be able to get that money out. And in some of those cases, they'll give you a taste, right? Let's say you deposit $10,000. They'll give you a taste. They'll give you that $1,000 back or something, for example, right? But once you start getting the big deposits in there, you're not going to be able to get it out. Or they're going to say, well, you need to pay fees to get it out, right? And then you pay those fees, but then they never even give you the money anyway. So and the app is what gets people, because it looks very real, it looks very professional, and you actually think, wow, I'm getting returns on my money, but it's all fake. It's all fake and designed to try and get you to keep on depositing real money, into the scammers' accounts. And it's crypto. They get you to deposit crypto, and you're not going to be able to get it back. I know a few people personally that fell for that scam. They're very convincing. And, you start seeing numbers like that, like, wow, I'm getting that much return, and you'd be very convincing to keep on depositing money. So watch out for that one. I think that might be a good one to wrap up the ARP scam tracker map on. Yeah, you know what? Getting a little quiet out there. It's pretty quiet over on Facebook, pretty quiet over on Instagram, pretty quiet over here on YouTube. So, you know, I think we get this wrapped up for tonight here. But it's been fun. It was good to see some of the usuals. It was good to see Dave. If you're still listening, thanks for joining again. And good to see John. And I had a couple new viewers pop in, so that was cool. All right, so let's get this wrapped up. Hey, anybody that's still watching, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining this week's live stream. Been streaming since 5:45 p.m., so what, about 2 hours, 15 minutes? Usually try to go for 3, but it's a quiet night. What could you do? So take a minute, join our free mailing list if you haven't yet. It's on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. You can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. Next week, the live stream is on Tuesday. I believe it's next week, right? Let's see, November 20th. Oh, no. November 20th. No, we're still on next Thursday. And then for the week of Thanksgiving, we're doing Tuesday. But we'll be back next Thursday. Same time, same place, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time, November 20th. To spread more scam awareness tips. So thanks again for tuning in. It's good to see you. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Until next time, stay safe. Talk to you next week, everybody. Now let me play some outro music for you while I get all these live streams shut off.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer interest. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, fat wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broke in despair. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. You acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.